Marco Rubio himself is very bullish about his chances of winning in Florida. He's staying in through the Florida primary no matter what. That said, we were told that there's been a serious internal debate about whether or not he should drop out before Florida. The top advisors have told Rubio that they do not see a path to the nomination, and they're advising him to get out before Florida for a simple reason. They don't want him, quote, to get killed in his home state, and they're afraid that a poor showing would be a risk and hurt his political future, whether someday he might want to run for governor or being considered for vice president.
Welcome everyone to the House of More Politics. As you can see from the video that you just watched, I've said this before in a previous post. So go check out the House of More Politics on YouTube and look at some of the posts that I've said before. But Marco Rubio is in trouble, and I'll explain why. Now, he has not won any states other than, I think, Minnesota and Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico is a territory, meaning you can get delegates from them and they do vote, but they have no say in Congress. So he can go and get delegates from them. As a matter of fact, he won 71% from Puerto Rico, but he has not won any states of meaning since this whole thing began. He's coming second, third, fourth, fifth. So his last stand is Florida. Being a senator from Florida, you would think that he would win his home state, right? No, he's losing to Trump. And I got my notes over here. Right now, as it stands, and Florida and Ohio vote on March 15th. But as it stands right now, Trump has 40.9% of the vote. Marco Rubio has 26.1%. So he's losing big time in Florida. So a lot of people from not necessarily his team, but a lot of people are saying, hey, Marco, you might want to get out of the race, because if you lose Florida, you can't run for dog catcher in your state. You can't run for governor. You can't run for senator. You can't run for the House. You can't run for anything in your state, because they will hound you with the fact that you lost Florida on a presidential level. You have got to get out. Dr. Carson, who is from Florida, he got out in a good enough time. So there's a possibility that Dr. Carson can run for something else, and it won't be too much of an embarrassment for him. But if you lose your home state on a presidential level, you can't run for anything else. I mean, you can try and you may succeed, but right now his career may be potentially over. Now, because he's on the ballot in Florida now, he has to give up his Senate seat. He can't run for his Senate seat. So if he loses the presidential race from Florida, he can also lose his Senate seat in Florida. Then what is he going to do? This may be Rubio's last stand. This may be Rubio's, this may be the first and last time you hear from Rubio. So wow. To lose your home state to Donald Trump, and to take your campaign and get in the dirt with Donald Trump. That's why a lot of people never really argue with Donald Trump. He is going to the dirtiest portions of the sewer in politics. And you stay away from Donald Trump. You try to remain above the fray. Kasich has tried to remain above the fray. He's not getting that good in the polls. And Kasich is also waiting on Ohio. If Kasich can't win Ohio, he will probably drop out. But he's doing pretty well in Ohio. But you don't get in the dirt with Trump. Everybody knows that this guy, even if he does get the nomination, he may not get the presidency. And that goes to my fractured Republican Party broker convention video. But for Marco Rubio to lose his home state, and he only has a week now, politicians are stubborn. He's going to believe, even though despite what the polls are saying, he is going to believe within the very fiber of everything that he is, he's going to believe that he can win Florida, no matter what the polls are saying. Ted Cruz has put up 10 or 20 new offices in Florida. They're trying to embarrass Marco Rubio. Trump is campaigning in Florida. Ted Cruz is opening up offices in Florida. They're really trying to embarrass this guy to get him out of the race. So he has until March 15th, which is right around the corner. And they are voting today in a couple of states. So let's see how he does in these states. And all of these states are proportional, which means if you win a certain percent of the vote, you get maybe 1, 2, 10 delegates or so. So they all go by proportion. Well, Florida and Ohio are majority. If you win that state, you win all the delegates. And Florida has 99 delegates up for grabs. Will he win it? Will he win a state tonight? I highly doubt it. But again, hey, stick with the channel, stick with the House of More Politics. I'm gonna keep feeding you guys the news. I'm gonna keep feeding you the political turmoil that's going on with the Republican Party. I'm gonna keep giving you guys what's going on in the Democrats. Stick with the House of More Politics. Give me some likes, throw me some feedback, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Okay? Until then, peace.